And here we go, Chapter 2, The Religion of Evolution, and it starts out really fucking bad. Jumping right in here, it has long been my contention that evolution is just another religion. Well, that has been your contention, certainly, Kent Hovind, but it is not a fact, because you're full of shit. There is no empirical evidence to back it up, so it is certainly not a part of science. Except for all that empirical evidence. Endogenous retroviruses, the fossil record, the fact that they're all genetically related, name it. All that evidence, that's not empirical evidence. That's touchy-feely stuff. That DNA shit, that's just touchy-feely. It's not empirical at all. They take it on faith that you can use a paternity test and accurately, find out who is the father of a child. That's just faith. That's not empirical evidence at all. The evolutionists say that man made God instead of God making man. No, the evolutionists will say that living organisms reproduce with variations in order to adapt to their environments over time. That's what evolutionists would say. You know what else evolutionists would say? That light passing through raindrops produces rainbows. Oh wait, no, they wouldn't say that because that's not fucking related to fucking evolution, you fucking moron. But whatever. Who is right? The evolutionist scientist people who actually know shit. They're the ones who are right. Because they do have evidence, the evidence stuff that you don't know what it is, they have it. So it's them. Just saying. It's them. In this chapter, I would like to discuss the evolution of religion, or the religion of evolution. Which is it? Oh ho ho! Nice little reversal there, you fucking simpleton. Well, you've already been discussing the religion of evolution because it has long been your contention that evolution is just another religion. You're already discussing it. Don't say you want to discuss it after you... Okay, just to remind you, I would like to inform you that I'm starting a new series, and this is video number 3 in this series, but I'm starting this new series to talk about Kent Hovind. You see what the fucking point of that is? It's fucking stupid. You're already talking about it. Don't talk about it again. The public schools have been teaching for the last 50 years that religion has evolved. I doubt public schools address that topic at all because that's a little bit, pushed. Maybe colleges, maybe university, maybe high school to some degree. Maybe. I don't know. I've been out of high school for a long time, and when I was in school, we had, here in Canada, religion class, where they taught, for the most part, Christianity. You can see how well that worked, right? Because I actually know a thing or two about Christianity, and I don't believe any fucking word of it. I think that no longer exists, but I can't really, because of that, I can't really address what public schools in the United States would have been teaching about how religion has evolved, except to say that it has been evolving because you don't have, gay people being murdered in the streets, and no one hunts down witches anymore, for the most part. Some backwards areas, like places in Africa or Alaska, still do it, but, slightly more advanced places in the world may not do it as much, or at all. And yes, that was a cheap jab at Alaska and Sarah Palin's witch hunting pastor, preacher, whatever he calls him, his fucking self, who, wants to kill witches because they actually exist. But no, to go back to the point I was making, public schools probably haven't been teaching for the last 50 years that religion has evolved. That doesn't seem like a subject that would be covered anywhere in public school. We have been taught that man started off believing in many gods, which is true. Hinduism still exists today, and they have many religions. Many gods, and they actually have a trinity. Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, which is all a different aspect of the greater God. Brahman, I think, is the name. But yeah, Trinitarianism predates Christianity by millions, not millions, but millions of days, by millions of hours, at least a few thousand years. The Trinity idea predates Christianity by a few thousand years. So, yeah, people used to believe in a lot more gods, and we have been taught that man started off believing in many gods, worshipping the rocks, stars, etc. Well, plants, animals, maybe not so much the rocks, but perhaps stars. Certainly, people drew those constellations that look nothing like the actual pictures that are drawn of those constellations. But sure, yeah. The caveman philosophy, again, no one calls them cavemen. Science teacher Kent Hovind. And that he gradually developed monotheism, the belief in one God. Oh, thank you for explaining to your simpleton Dr. What's his name? Dr. Wayne Knight. Thank you for explaining to Dr. Wayne Knight what monotheism means. Yet archaeology seems to tell us that just the opposite is true. It tells us that man has always been a monotheist and worshipped one God. No. In fact, we know that that is not the case, and we know that man has not worshipped one capital G God. The writing, again, just jumps out at me. Worshipped one God is not a capital G God. It is a God lowercase, as in general meaning of God, not the God named God. Really badly written. All of the ancient cultures seem to teach us just the opposite of what we are being taught in our public schools today. Yes, ancient cultures believed in magic, and they did not have computers, so they were fucking wrong, weren't they? Just saying. Yeah, they do seem to teach us the opposite of what we are being taught today, because they didn't know fucking anything, and now we do, so they teach the opposite of knowledge. Correct. Congratulations, Kent Hovind. You accidentally stumbled upon correctness for, I think, the third time so far. That's a bit low. I'll be generous and spot him 2 points for that huge pile of crap I skipped in chapter 1. You have stumbled upon correctness one more time, so we're up to a handful of times now. Congratulations, Kent Hovind. 47 pages in, almost halfway through, and you've been right a handful of times. Well done. Religion has not evolved. Well, we know that this is false just from Christianity itself, because we now have approximately 33,000 different kinds just of Christianity. 33,000 different distinct denominations of Christianity. If it had not evolved, there would be one, and it would be the first one, and you would be being eaten by a lion, you fucking sack of shit. Kent Hovind. Not you, the viewer. I mean Kent Hovind. He's a lying sack of... Well, to be fair, you might be a lying sack of shit too, but I have no way of knowing that in advance, so I can't really address the state of your lying sack of shitness. You'll just have to take my word for it. And if you are in fact a lying sack of shit, please just apply that label to yourself. And if this does not concern you, that was just for me. I apologize, but like I said in the previous series, sometimes I gotta do something to amuse myself, because this is just painful. Religion has evolved, Kent Hovind, even if you don't believe it. Man did not create God, God created man. Well, thank you for admitting that you believe your theology is true. Thank you for admitting that. That is a terribly brave thing to say when only billions of other people believe in the same stupid bullshit you do. Since evolution is just a religion, he hasn't established this. You're supposed to be wanting to talk about how it is. You haven't established that it is a religion yet. You just said so 3 times, and you're using it as a point to, a springboard to make another point. That's not how it works, Kent. It should not be taught in public schools at taxpayers' expense unless all religions are going to be taught. Right. What the fuck would you know about taxpayers, Kent Hovind? Just saying. And I'm not even going to address that. I mean, it's not a religion, and no, it shouldn't. If it were a religion, it should not be taught in public schools. But he wants his religion to be taught in public schools. So what the fuck is his point? Only his religion is allowed to be taught in public schools, not the non-religion religion that is evolution. Because double standards only work if you're a Christian. In 1963, the Supreme Court ruled that if a parent or child objects to certain materials being taught in the public schools, the child cannot be removed from the class because that would violate his constitutional rights, the rights being everyone is entitled to an education. The court further decided that the objectionable course of material would have to be removed. I really doubt that this is true, because you can have any idiot objecting to mathematics because it violates their religion, and no, mathematics cannot be removed. So this is just crap. Misinterpreted, perhaps, definitely false as presented. Maybe there's a little bit of nugget of truth behind it. Maybe there was a Supreme Court decision in 1963. I am willing to grant for the sake of argument, that in 1963, the Supreme Court ruled on something. I'm willing to go that far. But anything else Kent Hovind says is taken with a grain of salt. So I'm only going as far as the Supreme Court said something one time in 1963, maybe. That's as far as I'm going to go on this one. This case involved the question of prayer and religion. The precedent can be applied to sex education or any other questionable material. Well, no, it can't, because this is made up. Let me just really quickly read through this. And Madeleine Murray O'Hair did not want her son made to pray in the public school. The reason for that is, would you want your kids to be forced to get on their knees and bash their heads into the floor in the direction of Mecca 5 times a day during class? No. Why is that? Because it's not your religion, and being forced to pray for someone else's God offends you and violates your right to be free from religion? Or, free exercise of religion. If you don't have a religion, you don't have to exercise. So if you're forced to exercise someone else's religion, you don't have fucking freedom of exercise, do you? That is possibly the correct court ruling. That you cannot be forced in school to pray, because it is a religious act, and that would unfairly endorse or condone or grant rights to a specific religion. Secularity is important in these things, and the court decision was probably somewhere along those lines. It's not because, it's offensive to me, I want it taken away. It's because it violates the Constitution of the United States. But then again, Kent Hovind doesn't pay taxes, so what the fuck would he know about the functioning of government? Of course, I don't like what Madeleine Murray O'Hair stands for, or what she did, but it does bring up an interesting point. If evolution is just a religion, which it isn't, and you haven't established that it is yet, then it should also be taken out of the public schools. Well, your faith should be taken out of the public schools, and that is the most mature and equal to validity response I can provide. If evolution is just your face, that's it. That is the most respect I can give to that fucking bullshit is your face. He has this entire chapter, and I bet it's going to be as long as the previous one, over and over and over, going, evolution is a religion, evolution. The question is it a religion? You can say it is as often as you want. That won't make it true. And so far, I have not seen anything that says this is why it's a religion. Except all that other stuff about communism and the French Revolution and Lyell and the geologic column. And I would like to see some legal action taken to get evolution taken out of the public school system on the grounds that it is just a religion. Good news for you 1991 version of Kent Hovind. Legal action has been taken to get evolution taken out of the public school. It has been, several times in fact, And it's failed because it's not. Isn't it great? My favorite one is the Dover trial, Kitzmiller v. Dover. The judges, the judge in his ruling, it's a really long ruling. It's a little bit dry reading, but I recommend going through it anyways. At the end, he has this little comment that he just added in, and goddamn, it's so great. I don't remember it offhand. I'll try to remember to put a link in the description for it. Just that one line. I might just quote the line and put it on screen here if I remember to edit the video afterwards. But goddamn, it's just so wonderful. Yes, legal action has been taken to get evolution taken out of the public school, and it hasn't been because it's not a religion. So shut the fuck up. It's so great. It gives me the warm fuzzies inside. You know, I'm accused of being angry all the time. Makes me feel so good to know that Kent Hovind is such a douchebag. It really does. Step 2. The first step is to approach the school board and request that they remove the objectionable materials. Because, of course, school boards are courts. No, they're elected parents who know nothing about nothing. Or anything, you know, whatever. They don't even know anything. They just know nothing. Period. So you go up to a bunch of nobodies with no knowledge and you say, I want this taken out. What are they going to say? Why? For Jesus. Well, we're all Christians too. We're going to remove the thing that's good for Jesus. First step. Get a bunch of nobodies to remove it on the basis of Jesus. Step 2 is to go to the people who supply the funds for the school, the county commission. You mean the federal government? The one that uses tax money? The tax money that you don't pay? Just reminding people, because Kent Hovind's a douchebag. Step 3 is to take the issue to court. No, step 1 should be to take the issue to court. Step 2 is to get your ass handed to you. And step 3 is to be thrown out and ridiculed. Those are your 3 steps. There are basically 4 options in this issue. 3 steps, 4 options. First option is to teach evolution only and ignore creation or any other theories of the origin of the earth. Evolution is not a theory of the origin of the earth. So first option is bullshit. This is what is going on now in the public school system, except it's not. Where's the second one? Wow. First option, biology teacher, small town of Dayton, Clarence Darrow. Oh, this is the Scopes monkey trial, I think, that he's referring to. So the first option is to teach evolution and only ignore a creation. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. We are now at the other end of the spectrum. The tides have totally shifted, and we are now only teaching only evolution. This is Scopes in reverse. Yes, it is Scopes in reverse. It's called Kitzmiller v. Dover, and Scopes in reverse got its ass handed to it. The hilarious thing is, if you think about what he's saying here, Scopes in reverse. Okay, there's a murder trial. The murderer is found, accused, tried, and officially thrown in jail for his crimes. Now, we have the murderer suing the state in this hypothetical. He's saying that the state is the murderer. Goes to court. No, the state didn't commit murder. You did. Go back to jail. This is murder trial in reverse. Except we're losing this time for some reason. Yes, of course you are. Because the reason the Scopes monkey trial ended the way it did was because it was found unconstitutional to prevent the teaching of science in science class while simultaneously promoting religion. And the reason why the Scopes trial in reverse is not going in your favor is because you're still trying to push religion, which is against the Constitution, which means you're the murderer and you're trying to sue someone else for committing the murder you did. They have been told it is against... there are two middle ground options available in this issue. So where are those four options? They're gone. I don't even see the word option anywhere. It's just, first option is to do this, and that's what's being done, and here's a long history, and it's scary, scary again. It's the return of scary, scary. Look, there's Clarence Darrow, be afraid, the scope's in reverse. Oh, here, finally. The next option is to leave both of these beliefs out of the public school system. Well, some kids believe 2 + 2 = 4. Some kids believe it's 5. Let's leave mathematics out of school. Fuck you. This is for you, Kent Hovind. I hope you can see this in jail, you fucking sack of shit. You see this? That's you. Well, that's you in the shower every day. But fuck you, Kent Hovind. Leaving reality out of reality-based education is retarded. Period. Blah, 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 blah. Evolution without a question is a religion. Blah, 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 blah. We go on now to the Humanist Manifesto 2, written by Paul Kurtz and Edwin Wilson. Blah, blah, blah. Stephen Jay Gould, Miles Eldridge. Blah, blah. Evolution is a religion. Blah, 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 blah. I write letters to the editor very frequently. Well, that tells me everything I need to know about Kent Hovind's integrity. He writes letters to the editor. Next up, Kent Hovind, the crazy cat lady. Evolution isn't science. Here's one published some time ago that sums up my feelings on the subject. He's writing one of his own letters in his doctoral dissertation, book, essay, document, ministry preparation, paper, whatever. Remember the story of tailors who kept asking for more silk and gold to make a royal suit for the king? Blah, blah, blah. And, okay, I skipped a lot, but I saw two options. And just the repetition, there's no evidence of evolution, there's no, even, I just scrolled up randomly, and yet we have absolutely no evidence of evolution occurring in the past. There is nothing going on in the present that gives evidence of evolution. Except there is. Constantly just, there's no proof, there's no proof, there's no proof, here's some proof, there's no proof. In fact, that wasn't someone else telling Kent Hovind, here's some proof. That's Kent Hovind saying, here's some proof of evolution. There's no proof of evolution. There's fossils. Well, there's nothing in the fossil record says there's evolution, except that the fossil record itself is proof of evolution in a very large way. There's no proof. All those fossils that show a very clear line of change over time in various animal species, that's not proof of change over time and a clear progression. Of course not. So we come to the end. I can't tell you what the other two options are because I'm not even sure he got to them, and I'm not going to read through all that crap. I'm trying to keep these videos a little bit shorter this time, and I think I'm succeeding. But there you go, Chapter 2, The Religion of Evolution, which the only argument in favor for is evolution is a religion, and it's not a science. And who could fail to be convinced by that except everyone? So I will be back shortly after trying to breathe again. The effects of evolution. I wonder if that has to do anything with colds.